We're live. Here we are, right there. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, there we are.
We are. There we are.
Are we all by ourselves?
It's that way a lot lately. Oh, you're on there, huh?
Yeah. Who else?
I don't see one.
Just only me. I'm the only one that loves you.
Really?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, at least you liked me. Huh.
Yeah.
You didn't love me. You liked me. Okay, there's two. Seymour Rivers.
Hey, Seymour.
How you doing?
Welcome aboard.
Yep.
What do you want to talk about, Seymour? You're the only one in here besides
No, there's
me.
four now.
Oh,
Six,
okay.
5. See? It's going up rapidly.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom.
It's going quick.
Hi, guys.
6. People must be bored tonight. I know we're tired.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Hey, Phil.
Seems like.
In the north today.
Yeah, Jim. Hi, Jim. It seems like we get more tired doing nothing. We had one customer today. Well, 3 people. One person bought.
Hi, Midwest.
So.
Yeah, one person bought.
Yeah, fireworks. Well, we had a homeless guy came by with a stick.
We also had the FedEx guy.
FedEx.
Or UPS. What is it?
Yeah, no, they didn't buy anything though.
Still, they were there.
Yeah.
Neither did the homeless guy.
I got my new electrical gauge. You would not believe the trouble we're having with getting Amazon stuff here. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
It's mostly the post office.
Well, we had a problem at the house, at the property.
Yeah.
The house.
Seems like the post office is really lagging behind. I think if and when I talk to the Amazon guys, they go, yeah, we get a lot of complaints about them. So because we have an Amazon center 2 blocks from here, right across the road over here.
Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
Yeah, and they, I mean, they were here twice today. So, but and UPS comes and they're good.
Rose. Hi, Jason and Amanda.
Yeah, Jason and Amanda are here. I didn't think they would be here tonight. Boy, they missed out on a smoking truck, huh?
Ouch.
Actually, I was going to have you guys go get that truck, and I was going to give it to Darla. So that was what? And he's love-starved. He's in there most of the time with us, but
he misses his yard to run in.
Yeah, he gets to the point where
no, we're not. No.
No. He's a good dog that does bad things. Huh? You want to come over here and sit? You can. You want to come sit with me? Come here.
That dirty look.
Yeah, come here. You want to come sit with you? He wants to play with the lid on his toy box.
Well, I put the toys up because he always wants to play when we're doing a live, as you guys well know. Ow! Come up here. Come up here. Up.
You want to come up? Come on. Come on here.
Come on.
I have to do this. Come on. Now come.
Up.
Come here. See, now he's just going to lay down, though. He's right here. Right there. There he is.
Yeah, Seymour, that's what we were thinking, that, well, the person that bought the fireworks that she bought today was specifically for Memorial Day weekend.
For her brother.
Right.
That had passed away a year ago. So, yeah, it's an interesting place where we're at. It's obviously close to where the homeless people live around here somewhere. But they're very nice and polite.
Jason and Amanda said, missed the link, sorry, and the Cookie Man.
I don't know about the Cookie Man.
I don't know about the Cookie Man either.
Why? What happened?
I don't know.
I don't know what that's all about.
Refresh our memory.
Yeah, it was a really cool little pickup came up, and she showed me it was on Facebook Marketplace, and it was right by, it was in Mina. And so I had her send it to them, thinking that later on I would tell them to go check it out. shoot, it was gone already.
Yeah, it was.
It's gone
It was
fast.
a clean,
You know,
clean truck.
yeah, it was really nice. That's
Cage
just how
is
it goes,
missing
you
the
know.
call.
What?
Yeah, Cage is missing the cookies. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still getting something.
That's what they meant by the missing the cookies.
Okay.
The cookie man.
But anyway, we've had a lot of rain. It's been cold today. It's actually warmer now than it was all day long, huh? Like,
yeah, because we're in here.
It's like 51 or 52 degrees here today, and now it's 65, it says outside, so it's actually warmer. And the weather's supposed to get worse again tomorrow, I guess. So.
How many weeks before the 4th of July will it be very busy for you there?
Well, from what I understand, about 2 weeks before, it's like crazy. And I'm kind of hoping that it, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of hoping that it gradually starts picking up a little more, and then when we get about 2 weeks out, it just gets real crazy, and we just hammer down for 2 weeks and really suffer, but make the big bucks. And then the 2 weeks after, it just kind of curtails, starts going down a little bit, and then we're gone. We're done.
People in this state are happy because I guess just recently they opened up fireworks to like what it used to be when we were kids. You know, you could have just about anything. Kentucky didn't used to be like that. They had a bunch of regulations, and you couldn't have this and couldn't have that. So
and now you can blow up your neighbor's house, no problem.
People drove to Missouri to get fireworks.
Tennessee, too.
Yeah. One guy said it was like doing a drug deal.
Yeah. Well, I guess apparently there was a time when you could buy some pretty hairy fireworks around here, but they didn't have them out in front. They took you in the back and made you swear an oath and everything else. So anyway, it's an interesting thing. It's a new thing for us.
We don't really know if the level of business that we're having right now is normal or if it's
it can't be normal. Yeah, it's slow right now.
No, but I mean if it's normal.
Oh yeah, for this time of year,
right.
Yeah.
Because we've never done it before and don't know anyone who has. And that we're here so early. I mean.
Well, and the owner said he wanted us here early so that people knew that we were here early. And he said, you'll make some sales, but, you know, as we get closer, it's going to get real busy. That's why there's still that opening, I guess, for people right down the road working in a tent, but it's basically a month or less. So you come in, prime time it, and go. Where we're here for the long haul, which
Seymour said around here the stores have a buy one get one free sale right after the 4th of July. We have buy one get one right now. Yeah. Everything is you buy one thing and you get another one free.
And people like that. It sometimes they're it's buy one get one. Really? Okay, well I better get something then. So and we have the really hardcore stuff. Of course, if you guys watch the video that we did, kind of walking through the store and showing you what stuff is, we have some pretty hairy stuff, man. I mean, you don't want to get on the wrong end of the
Somebody
fuse.
was asking the prices on that stuff. We'll probably do a video.
I think we have stuff everywhere from about $5 up to $1,000.
Uh-huh.
We have one box, takes like 3 guys to move, and it's $1,000, but you get 2 of those boxes, and I mean it's enough to entertain the whole neighborhood, man.
So I don't know, Seymour 3 free? No, we don't do that.
We've seen a place that they give you 5 free, but they've got to be charging an astronomical price. So. And
Jim wants, the advertising. We don't have any advertising other than just what's on the curb. And I made a Facebook page. I asked the owner if that was okay to do, to try to get some traffic in here.
But everybody that's come here before or that has come here,
has
said that they've been here before. What is going on now?
But I did have one guy from an hour and 20 minutes away, and he messaged last night and said, "Hey, I found your Facebook page doing a Google search," so that was good. And he plans on coming in, and he does a big show. I don't know what he does. Like, I don't know if he has, I don't know. But
we showed a picture of his garage full of fireworks.
Yeah, his garage was full of fireworks. Of course, I went and scoped out his profile, Facebook profile, and he does buy a lot of fireworks, and he said that he'll be here to buy some. So.
And that's the thing about here is that it's not like, you know, just little things you nail on a tree or little things that grow, snakes and stuff. I mean, we got these things where we light them and they shoot all these things up in the air, and it's pretty radical stuff.
We have Chinese lanterns that shoot sparks out.
Yeah. And they our fireworks, it says right on the box, barely legal. So if that's the truth, they're probably barely legal.
Yeah, we have a couple different manufacturers: Freedom of America, Black Cat, Phantom. Right?
Yeah, I know we have Black Cat. That's what most of it is.
Yeah.
But we got everything for little kids, and then we have assortment packs for little kids that must weigh 35 or 40 pounds. I mean, they're pretty healthy. And then they got the big kid assortment stuff, and then we got fountains, and we got skyrockets. We got like cherry bombs and firecrackers, and I mean, we got bottle rockets. That's what I used to think were cool. I always liked shooting out bottle rockets.
Jason and Amanda, no, you'll be fine. Just don't drink beforehand.
Yeah.
It's $50 for a town permit to use fireworks for a weekend. What? Really, Seymour? Which is a bummer if you want to shoot off $20 of fireworks. No kidding. Yeah. Hey, Mike. Welcome. Only the 4th of July weekend did we need a permit. So dumb. It's just a way to get money. Extortion.
And then the other situation we've had is we had the bird situation, and we think it's
not
kind of handled.
They're not able to get into the store anymore, but they're in. So it used to be a restaurant, and there's a hood at one side of the room, you know, the store, and they're getting in somehow.
Well, one got in and was flopping around, and then all of a sudden,
flopping around today.
Really?
Yeah. When you ran to get lunch.
And then we have a leaky sink or something that's making an awful smell. They were supposed to come and take care of that today.
Smelling like mildew.
Yeah. So as long as we keep the cabinet door shut, it's not too bad. So, but yeah, hopefully, man, we can just. I'd love to get this all done and leave here with a big smile on my face and go visit family. And our youngest daughter got married again yesterday, so we weren't able to go for that, but we were able to watch it on video, Facebook Live,
which was awesome. Next best thing.
So we're hoping this is the last time for that experience. Yeah. But she seems to have met a pretty decent guy, and that's a good thing. So
yeah, we wish them well, and we'll pray for them incessantly.
Well, what we always say is our kids are great. It's always their spouses that, you know, we've had difficulties with. So
talking about our girls.
Our girls, yeah. So
we love you, Maggie.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't like it where there's conflicts, you know, in our family. So, but everybody has them, I guess. But that's why we have Cage. So we have conflict. He's a good boy, though. Yeah. And let's see, motorhome. I still have one motorhome problem. I got to get the blower motor blowing the fuse, and I've determined where it is, and it's back there by those fans again. I think what happens is that it draws all that heat in and it gets to those wires, and it's a small wire. It's a trigger wire for everything that's kind of shorted out. So
it didn't quit on us until we were like 20 minutes away from where we needed to be.
It
was hot that day.
But I've checked everything individually and everything works. So it's like the trigger wire for the relay that turns on the fans and the AC compressor in the back is grounding out.
Seymour also wants to know, did you fix the leak in your slide out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we haven't.
It has rained since we did that.
But the thing about it is we never know till we bring it in.
Right.
So
he worked on it.
Yeah.
Hope it's fixed.
Well, what it is it's over here in this front corner over here, and it's I could see that the water was getting in around the window that's on the side when you pull in, the window comes inside. So I just caulked the window all the way around on the outside, taped it all off real nice, and caulked it real good. And we'll know once we bring it in. But I think we got it. I think that's a fixed deal.
Another thing he has to fix on this is the bag, the airbag.
Yeah, I found out I got a front airbag that's kind of got there's like a shielding that goes around the airbag, and the shielding is tore about 3 or 4 inches long. But that's going to be a big job on this. The back ones are pretty easy compared to the fronts.
But we think we know a guy.
A young kid, one who fixed 2 eggs in a basket.
Well, I'm the one who helped you put the motor in the truck.
Well, yeah.
Or take it out. He helped you take
it out. He basically got tools for lifts and stuff. So, yeah, Garrett, he's pretty good. He's a good guy. And the thing is, I mean, there's my arm. You can see what happens when I work on stuff. With these being on these blood thinners, man, it's horrible. You got a big, nasty looking raspberry there. They look bad. They don't hurt, but they just look bad. Everyone looks at me like I'm a leper. So, but I've gone all through the dash and checked all that, did everything else, and then I had one of these before, and the cover fell off of it. And what it tells me is my voltage of the AC current in the motorhome. And it's good for your inverter and when your generator's running and everything. And I tell you what it is. And the little shield here, the other one had like just a clear plastic beam that clipped on. It was always falling off. But then when that thing falls off, the electrical's exposed, and I don't want to get shocked. So I got a new one of those came today, and
then we had a sewer hose.
Yeah, brand new.
Straight out of the box, had 2 holes in it.
So now we got to reload I lifted the hose up and drained it out.
Yeah.
But the new hose, one of the problems is at the very end it goes up. So the hose is always full. And I mean, it runs into the sewer or whatever it is around here, but it has to go uphill a little bit to do it. The actual black and gray tank are higher, so it does drain off, but there's always fluid in that hose. And the seals were leaking because it was all stretched out so far. So I had ordered new seals and a new hose. I put the new hose on. It was leaking like at 4 places. It was horrible, huh? Yeah. So we'll find out in the morning after we take showers, because tomorrow's laundry day, so we got to get up early, take showers.
Jason says he has one of those, but it's digital.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I don't have a digital one here is because I don't want the light right here.
Voltmeter? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's voltage. But it's AC voltage. Mm-hmm. And then the ones on the dash are digital. And Darla, she hates them because she can see them from the bedroom.
Right. The way the bed is set up, there's like a wall on half the face of the bed, that's the side he sleeps on, and I'm like straight into the door, and I can see it.
Yeah.
But
you've got used to closing your eyes, and then you can sleep.
I still, like, if I'm not having a good night of sleeping, it'll keep me awake.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's
Thanks, Charlie Porch. Thank you. We're good. Hope you are too. Hope everybody's doing okay.
Yeah. And now I got that hose today, and what's really kind of irritating is it's like $25 for just the hose. It doesn't come with the ends or anything. And for like $36, you can get the hose, the ends, the seals, the thing that goes down. I use those rhinos, and yeah, it's kind of crazy that.
You know, though, I remember when they would sell the kits with everything in it at Brett's.
Yeah, they were like 80.
Remember how lightweight those hoses were?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's kind of what the same is with that kit that you were looking at.
Well, the good thing about the rhino hoses that I like is you can collapse them and they stay collapsed. The other ones, they're like slinky snakes, and,
but I mean,
and you can't.
Hey, Claudia and Ronnie. Hi, how are you guys?
You can't.
Well, I miss you too.
you can't collapse them and let go of them. If you do, they just expand out. And I need, because of where I put them in my water storage, I got to have the caps, and they got to collapse so that they'll all fit in there. But I wonder
if the tubes are the lightweight garbage that were in the. I bet they are the ones that you're, the kits for $39. I wonder if those hoses are cheap.
Yeah, they're not those. No, they're better, and they actually make a really heavy duty one, but the price is double. But it may not be a bad thing. Of course, I've had these hoses for years, and I've had pretty good luck with them. So the bad part about them is if you step on them, they take this weird shape and they hold it.
Yeah, they do.
So
yeah, lights do reflect off everything, glass and mirror in this thing, and we've got mirrors over there, and we've got. You turn the lights off in here, and I wonder, like it's buzzing all night, even though the lights are off. You've got all kinds of lights from the Wi-Fi and the weather station, and
we have a lot of stuff running. We have the microwave runs,
the clock,
and we have the two. I have one digital gauge that tells me the truck battery voltage, and I have one for the house batteries. And then, of course, my computer's plugged in and on.
My computer.
Your computer's plugged in.
And we charge our phones at night.
Charge our phones in the bedroom.
We'll probably just.
Yeah, so our.
What are those?
But everything.
RSDs, that's what it is.
Pretty much everything in here is AC voltage. And when we're not plugged in, it runs on our inverter.
Yeah.
So it's not really too bad. AC seems like 12. The DC voltage is harder draw and stuff, So, but the little LEDs and this little gauge are not a big thing. So
off topic, it got really, really hot, and now today it was really cold.
In low
really
50s.
Cold.
Yeah.
Low 50s. And I know a lot of places in the country are still getting snow.
And it was
ridiculous.
And it was like sprinkling all day, real light, misty sprinkles. Yeah. So, and it's supposed to get back to raining again starting
Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday. So
crazy.
We had rain the other night, and I never experienced any of it. I was out.
Yeah.
Been sleeping pretty good. So.
Because you're working so hard.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's probably better for me to actually be hustling than it is to sit around all day, man.
And I know people want to know how's your foot.
I'm gonna say it's a little better. It's not just like, wow, it's getting a lot better. It's just getting a little better. But I have bad days too. I'll go a couple of days where it feels like it's getting better, and then I'll have a day where it bothers me. And the thing here, course, our audience is like in our age group mostly. So the thing about it is in Kentucky, the getting your medications is a whole different thing.
No kidding.
They ration you. You contact Walmart. I get ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding all day long. Oh yeah, it's time to order this, and it's time to refill. And the thing is, you go to refill, and they want to give you like 3 pills at a time. They want you to.
Will only let you have 30 months supply of anything.
30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
When we were in Arizona and in Arkansas, they give us 90 days.
90 days, and that's including my insulin, which luckily I had Mexico stuff, so I just finished that. So now I'm on to the stuff that I was able to get one since we've been here.
Right.
So.
And I wanted to get 90 days because I don't think we're going to have, in a month from now, I don't think I'm going to have time to call them up and have us go over there.
We're going to have to go do it though, because we're going to have to get it, because once we get behind.
Anyway.
We won't
and then they also said the gabapentin, which is the nerve killer to help with pain. They said that stuff in the state of Kentucky is considered a narcotic, a controlled substance.
Yeah, and it is.
And so if
I didn't take it before this, because I'd be out.
If they refill it here, it's not considered that in Arizona or Arkansas though. But if they refill it here, then when we get back to Arkansas, we have to have the doctor issue a new prescription, and we can only get 30 days.
Well, see, in Arkansas, what they consider a narcotic would be
meth.
Well, or moonshine.
Yeah.
But
anyway, it's just crazy.
They're pretty loose
Johnny
with it.
And Patty.
Are they here?
Yeah. Do you limp or use a cane, Bill? And hi, Mark.
You know what I do, and it drives me crazy, is when I walk, my foot slaps. It goes bam, bam, bam. I limp, but sometimes I can not limp if I concentrate on it.
Honestly, even before he hurt his leg, he limped anyways, because one of his legs is like that much shorter than the other one.
It's about a half.
Kind of has a gait, you know.
Yeah. My right leg's a little shorter than my left leg.
And no, he's not using a cane.
And that's from years of intense martial arts fighting. No.
Martial farts? Is that what you're going to say?
No, I don't know why. One leg is just a little bit shorter and one foot's a little bit bigger than the other. I don't know if other people have that. And hey, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button too. That's been helping with our algorithm. And when you guys do that, it really makes a big difference for us getting a little more output, not so much during the videos, the lives, but after the lives. So if you guys don't mind, I would really appreciate you do that. It would be nice if in the future we could do videos and actually make a little money off of them. And we've tried not to do the money thing, try not to talk about the money thing, but it wouldn't be bad be nice to just pay for the
Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi or the camera equipment. We haven't paid for the $35 camera yet,
Mark said he was smoking pork chops. That's why he was late.
Those must be hard to roll.
And then Jason said, check out Sleeper Dude's last video, someplace in Kentucky, a bunch of cars and motorcycles just rusting away.
Yeah, 4,000. I started watching that.
Includes a shovel head.
A shovel head? All right.
That's what he said.
I started watching it, but it was just like, it was like depressing to see all those cars buried back in the wood. That one Corvair pickup truck with the tree growing through it. He's kind of an interesting guy. What was that Studebaker he got running? He's a pretty good mechanic. He's pretty good at getting things going.
John said he already liked it. He liked it good. And Two Eggs says real people are not symmetrical.
Yeah. And then the saga of Class A living. He has spent. People were making some
2 months.
2 months tearing the thing apart, and he finally said, "Okay, I'm all done tearing it apart." And I made a comment. Okay, now it's time to go get that bus. and I got I got comments about my comment saying he would be better off if he did something like, because the guy wants to give him a diesel pusher school bus, and give it to him. All he has to do is drive there, get to, I think it's Ohio or Iowa or somewhere, and the guy's going to give it to him. The title, he's got the title on it, he's got everything. It runs, it's running, it's driving, and he's going to give it to him free of charge. And all he has to do is drive it back. And for some reason, there's fear for him to make that trip.
He doesn't go very far.
He's got to get out of his little,
right.
and then he complains about how
he doesn't got to get out of anything. He's doing fine. His subscribers and I don't know his.
Yeah, but he's
what he turns out seems to make everybody happy.
Anyway, I've gotten like 17 likes on my comment, and not from him.
Yeah.
And then he wants everybody to agree with him on this, making the steel framed
pickup RV,
steel metal. I mean, like, it's going to be astronomically heavy with all that steel. And then he's got to deal with rust and all kinds of stuff. I mean, if he was smart, if he would have done it in aluminum, it would have made more sense. And he could have riveted, he could have riveted the aluminum. You're not going to rivet that steel and have it hold very well. So
John says, do you use a pipe, Bill?
A pipe? Yeah.
John. It's John.
No, I don't use a pipe. I don't smoke anything.
How many viewers would be good for a little income? Seymour would like to know.
I don't know. I know we've got.
It's not really the viewers. It's the views.
Yeah, it's the views. We
have the views.
We have a little over 3,200 subscribers now, which we've been doing this about 4 years, and I mean we're about average as far as how many subscribers we have. But we did a video about 2 weeks ago and it went to 3,000 views. We've had them as high as like 35,000. But they're kind of hit and miss. They're not. It's not like Eric, Nomadic Fanatic and those guys. They put a video on and they get thousands, 15,000 views in a couple of days, and that's when you start making where you're buying motorcycles and stuff like that. We're never going to do that.
I know that.
Yeah, but if we could, I don't want to do the Patreon where you tell people, well, if you just pay us $10 a month, we'll let you see the video, a couple of days before. I'm not into that. I'm not trying to sell this thing. It doesn't. The thing about it is, and this is what I do when I watch videos. If I like the video, I hit like, and if I don't like the video, I hit dislike. And the reason is it counts either way for the people that I watch the video of. And sometimes if it's a real good video, I'll share it, and what that does is that helps that person. And we do if somebody's on here and they have their own channel, we'll do shout outs for them. All you have to do is say, hey, I got a channel, and John, Scenic Driveways, he's got a channel. He could use some more subscribers. He's got some interesting stuff on there.
Hi, Jakey and Joanne. We're doing fine. Hope you guys are too. No, John. John said, do you have a pipe? Do you smoke a pipe? When you're talking about rolling pork chops.
That's what I knew what he was talking about. Yeah, I understood. I just didn't want to act like I'm some kind of drug addict. Poor John. Are you still going to Trembling Hills? You haven't been able to solve your medication problems yet, huh?
Hi, RV Quote.
So
we're doing good.
Yeah. So
hope you are too.
Just to kind of everybody would like to. For us, if we made $200 a month, that would be wonderful. It's a lot of money, but it would basically
You want to know
buy
what we make
cameras.
right now? We make about $130 every 3 months.
Yeah. And that it takes about 3 months to do it.
Yeah.
And then the amount of time that Darla puts into doing the editing,
Yeah,
and
ridiculous.
then you know, I bought a phone, cost like $900 to get a good camera, and now the battery's getting where the battery doesn't work as good, so I have to have it charging all the time, and you know, it's just stuff like that. You know, you just keep buying. I have a real nice Canon camera, but it doesn't work with anything. It won't work on lives, and to carry that bulky thing around, I should get one of those little
vloggers do. That's what they do. They put it on a tripod and they carry it around, and they get this.
Yeah, but what
nice
are the little ones? The GoPro. I probably need to get one of those. But you know, I mean, they're $300-400.
He doesn't monetize this channel. He just has it for family and friends.
Yeah, well, you have to get to a certain point before you can monetize anyway, right?
1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers.
But some people, and honestly, that is what we did to begin with. We did this just for family. You know, we figured, you know, it's probably not going to take off, and then Brian interviewed us, and we had 1,000 subscribers.
Well, we didn't figure
before we did any videos at all.
We didn't figure on doing a channel until Brian did that. Brian had asked us multiple times.
But I mean,
to do it, and finally I said, "Oh well, okay, we'll do it," and we did it, and we had 1,000 a little over 1,000 subscribers before we ever put out a video.
Because of Brian.
Right.
His followers.
And then we were sitting there, and she kept going, "When are you going to make another video? When are you going to make another video?" And it's like, well, I need to get this. So I got that. And then, well, I need to get this. So then we got that. And we just went back and forth. And finally she goes, "When are you going to do another video?" So finally I just set up the tripod, I guess, over there and sat in the chair. And I just said, okay, this is what we're going to do. And that's how it started. And
we just figured, oh, well, you know, if it doesn't go anywhere, though, at least it's there for family and friends that want to watch. So.
And now we got a big family. And, you know, the thing about the lives is you guys, I mean, you guys are here. You talk to each other in the, you know, on the chat. And for some reason, you like to know what us crazy folks are doing. We're just living life, just like everybody else. We just kind of put it out there a little bit.
Seymour, you wanted to know 100 or 200 viewers in a live. Both of us are kind of like, we don't think that'd be a great thing. I guess it'd be a great thing as far as analytics go, but we wouldn't be able to comment on everybody's, you know, comments.
I think around 50.
I like it.
50 or less is good.
Comfortably readable and answerable, and we can interact with you guys like that. Because I mean, we've seen people do lives. We've been on lives with, you know, people that we like to watch, and I mean, it goes so fast. It's like you can't even make out one letter, let alone a comment or someone's name.
I have a guy I watch on D Live, and it's political
garbage.
It's garbage to you. But you know what? You're still alive, and it's because I watch that guy. Anyway, he's QAnon and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the deal is he'll have sometimes over 1 million people on his live, and it just looks like a streak going. I mean, you just can't. He has a thing where he can slow it all down, and so he could just kind of take like little snapshots or something of it. But yeah, that wouldn't be fun for us, believe me.
And Seymour, you're talking about the alerts. Yeah, we put it out on Facebook in the group. If you don't belong to the group,
that would be if you don't belong to the group, you should join
on Facebook.
Economic Refugees RV group on Facebook. And if you're not on Facebook, which I know a lot of people are not real big fans of it anymore. We send out notification. It goes out when we go online.
I probably do need to get on though and put a notification like 30 minutes before, or when I do the Facebook notification, put that out on YouTube also. I was doing that for a while and I forgot about that. So thank you.
well, they have those things, set reminder and all that kind of stuff. We have been, if you notice, we've been pretty consistent on doing the Monday night thing. So um, we've been doing this now for months. Um, the only time we really weren't doing it is when I was in the hospital and all that stuff. So, but yeah.
Okay. David Lundy, sorry, but I censored Facebook. I hear you.
Yeah. Well,
terrible. But anyway,
you know what I like on there is I like all the motorcycle stuff. I do that and the hot rod stuff.
You know, I've been lately doing the sourdough bread thing, and so I'm in a bunch of groups for that. And my daughter-in-law posts stuff about our grandkids on there. So
yeah,
that's the main reason why I stay on Facebook.
And space, what is it? MySpace is kind of sucky.
But I will get on there, Seymour, on Facebook. I mean on YouTube, and I'll push out a notification that we're going to be going live, and you should get that. If you've got the bell hit and it has a drop down and you say all notifications, make sure that that's ticked, and then you'll get that notification too.
But likes and even dislikes,
comments are great.
Comments and shares make a big difference in growth of these channels and
consistency.
Yeah, consistent. I mean, there's people that have been doing this for the same amount of time as us that have like 20,000 subscribers, but man, they do them every single day. And you know, we work, we have to work, and even with being on Social Security and everything, I mean, it doesn't, especially anymore, it just doesn't cover.
Well, and you know, when Bill got sick, that was not where my mind was. It just wasn't. And I know a lot of people that are diehard YouTubers, they would have churned out their content and included that. That just wasn't where my heart was. It really wasn't.
I mean, there's some things you got to hold back. You know, you just can't put everything out there because people get repulsed by certain things.
We got nothing really. This is what's funny to me, because even if there's no content, some people will still watch you do the normal everyday things, from making a cup of coffee to, I don't know, washing the truck, to whatever you want to do.
Well, that's basically what Brian does. Brian, he has a van, and occasionally
he goes to neat places.
Well, he camps. You know, he boondocks. Right now he's in San Diego boondocking, but it's his day-to-day life.
Right. And people like to tune into that. I don't know
a lot of people are interested in
We look at each other and go, oh.
You know, Eric.
You want to see us brush our teeth? We might want to see Bill brush his teeth, because they come in a little cup.
Well, see, they didn't know that.
But now they do. Now they'll be wanting you to make a video about it.
It's entertaining for the grandchildren.
True.
But the dog even freaks out sometimes. But, you know, I mean, everybody's gone, you know, standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. And there's people that just go to Disneyland just constantly. I mean,
John says no.
You know, that's something you should go. And then there's a couple, can't remember their name, but they were down in Florida, and they started getting watchers. They got into this big tussle with this campground, and they got thrown out of the campground, and this went on and on. Well, now I saw a thing and it popped up, and they got like 800,000 views on this thing on that Skinwalker Ranch, that History Channel show. And they were just all, I mean, especially her, all intense about it. Oh, you got to watch us, and just going really crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, I see where they've gone. You know, I mean, and there are people that are doing this as an entertainment thing. I mean, full on trying to take you to places and all these things. We're just a couple of old people that live in an old motorhome, and they're full-time RVers that are semi-retired and doing jobs, and occasionally I could tell you a trick on fixing things on a motorhome, and you know, how to dump your tanks and stuff like that. And, you know, I mean, that's,
which people need to know.
if I had my motorcycle shop going, I could teach you how to do custom painting and all that kind of stuff.
Out into that.
And that's what this job is all about.
David Lundy says, FYI, I just caught you on an old adventure Van Man video and subscribed to your channel.
Awesome. Oh, great. Yeah.
Good. And you know what I was going to say? Gary Payne up here a little bit ago. Yep, Gary Payne would love to sell fireworks, and I called the guy. They don't have an RV, maybe next year.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are saying next year too. So,
bug him.
You know,
like when it gets closer too. Just tell him, you know, I got my RV if you do.
And you know what? This day and age, it's not a bad thing to even just have inexpensive, maybe in a little older travel trailer, something where if you needed to get out of your town, if things got crazy with something, and you needed to get away for a week or two, you could get in it and you could go somewhere and park somewhere or at a friend's or whatever, and you have a way out. Because you know, we call this motorhome wheel estate, and the reason, one of the things about it is oh, it's a printer. If we need to go somewhere, we always can go. I mean, we could go right now. If we had to leave right now, I mean, we could go right now. That's just how it is.
You said a minute ago that we were just a couple of old people, and JT said Darla's not old.
Yeah.
I love you, JT.
She's older than me. Not a lot older, but a little older.
Jake Weisenberg, would you ever move into a regular home someday?
Well,
you know, you're talking convalescent home?
Well, yeah. Well, here's our plans. If we can get this building.
Oh, wait. And hello, Jake. Welcome.
we're doing the fireworks and these jobs so that we can pay cash. We paid cash for our property. We've gotten all the tractor work done. We've got all the utilities in, which we're changing. I did everything for a specific type of building, and now we're changing that. And what's going to end up happening is we're going to have a 40 by 60 shop where the motorhome can be inside, and I can have my motorcycle shop in there. I'm going to set up my motorcycle shop again. It's not going to be at the level it was before, because I'm not going to be killing myself on a daily basis. But I'll work on motorcycles again and I do custom paint jobs, and I build motors and transmissions and fuel injection. I do all that stuff. And then what we're going to do is on one side of the building, we're going to have what they call a 16-foot lean-to, and it's lower than the main part of the building, and it will come off the side, and it's going to be 60 feet long. So we'll have like a single wide mobile home,
the equivalent of,
and but it's going to be, you know, like a house. It's going to look like a house on the inside, look like a metal building on the outside, and it'll be right off the shop. The motorhome will be inside. Everything we have will be inside this building. And when if we want to go gate guard, or we want to come back here, or we want to go to courtside, or we want to go visit my son, or whatever we want to do, the motorhome is always going to be ready. Because once I have a nice shop, I'm going to repaint this. So, I mean, I'm going to make it. I like old stuff. I don't have a problem with old stuff. What I have a problem with old stuff is when it's hard for me to be able to work on it. I mean, I pulled the transmission out of this thing twice, once in my buddy's parking lot, which wasn't level, and that was a problem. And then I had to pull it out again in a campground on a piece of plywood. So, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, the hard part is I feel like I'm running out of time. You know, my age and my physical situation now with this leg and everything. I mean, believe me, man, you lose full operation of your leg. It's a big thing. I never thought I'd be going through this at this stage in time, but that's what I'm going through, and that's what I got to go through. And I mean, I'm here. I don't feel, I've never been the type of person to beg or ask for money. I've always been the type of person.
Just likes.
Huh?
Just likes and comments.
Likes and comments. That's all I ask for. But and then like I say, that don't cost anything but a click. That's all it costs. But
I know.
and I do it, and I wouldn't ask you to do it if I wouldn't do it myself. But I don't ever want to make it where you guys have to throw money at us to be able to watch our videos or feel sorry for us, because that's not where we're at. We're capable people. And if it ever gets to the point where it starts feeling like that, then we'll just shut this gig down. And that'll be the end of it. So we'll.
Glad you're here anyway, Maddie.
Yeah, I mean, I can take this motorhome and I can put it on our property and pull the wheels off of it and build a front porch off of it. And there's people that do that. You know, put a cover over it, and people wouldn't even know this motorhome was inside
it is
there.
Arkansas. So.
Yeah. I mean, it would be somewhere where people would go by and go, "Wow, look at that shed there!" You know, someone built them a house, because people do that. I mean, I watch people on here on YouTube, and I mean their compound started with a travel trailer, and it's just been added on from there. You know, so I would like to have something really nice. This building paid for. And we're looking. It's going to cost us about 40 grand to put this building up, maybe a little more than that.
But the property's already paid for.
But if we can do it and pay for it, at the end, when I start working on motorcycles, and I mean I get pretty good money for what I do, because I know how to work on motorcycles, and I know how to make them nice. Anybody can make something that looks pretty, but not many people can make stuff where it looks pretty and you can drive it from one side of the country and back. That's the trick. People don't know all the intricate parts of I've had guys bring motorcycles to me that they've worked on, and they want me to just get them running, and I tell them, what are you going to do if I get it running? They go, well, I'm going to ride it. I go, I'm not going to get it running because it ain't safe. So that's the hard part, And
John says it is Arkansas. Hide it in the weeds.
Yeah, wouldn't take long. The problem is they hide so well you can't find them. But yeah. Anyway, that's kind of my little spiel, and like I say, we appreciate having you guys hang out with us. And I hope you guys enjoy watching us. It's like I always say, you're watching our nonsense, but that's where we're at. We haven't had really a lot of content lately, other than we're here.
Waiting for customers.
There's this building thing and stuff. It's kind of just kind of creeps me out sometimes. So
yeah, same here.
Yeah, and I don't really want to see people make that a sensational thing and go on there. We had all these birds, and I'm sure that there's some birds up in the attic that are stuck in there. But I mean that
Yeah, because they got nailed in. They were getting up under the tin roof.
But we don't have birds flying through the building now. We were having
on all the
we had 6-7 birds in there buzzing around, and then they go back up in there. And I think those birds, I think what's left up there are eggs and nests and stuff like that, maybe. But the adults pretty much were gone, and the guys came and they closed the thing up. So
anyway.
I mean, I'm an animal lover. I mean, I love animals. I mean, I don't like hurting anything. But
thank you, Jake.
What?
He says he's enjoyed our channel for years. Thank you, guys.
Oh, cool. Well, and and people have seen some struggles in our lives, and seen some really good. We've had some, great success, I think, as far as being RVers. I mean, believe it or not, I mean, we don't brag about it, but we've helped a lot of people in this lifestyle. We've helped people get jobs.
You brag about it.
Huh? Well, I guess, yeah, kind of ruined.
People have helped us get jobs too.
Sure, and that's the thing. I mean, that's what makes this community a special place, and needs to stay that way, because there's so much of society is just going like
But
this.
any place you are, you can have community if you
Yeah.
help people.
Well, it's like today we had this guy come in. He was a homeless guy, and he was carrying like a.
I don't know what that was, but I thought, man.
She was nervous, and
yeah, because.
And I'm going to say I'm not nervous, and I'm not going to say why, but I'm not nervous about anything. But the guy was really nice, and he seemed like a pretty educated guy. And then these other three ladies that came in, they knew who he was, and they said, "Yeah, he's a pretty smart guy. He's a good guy everybody likes."
He's homeless by choice. That's
but
what I
but
said.
the other homeless people
Bye,
tend to cause him grief. So,
I'm with Jake and following you guys forever. Thanks, Maddie.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, Did you get that Maddie? Did you get that motorhome I sent you? I sent you a motorhome. It looked like a pretty good price, a pretty good rig. Anyway, I think it was a Winnebago Brave or something. Anyway, yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, I've tried to help people find motorhomes. Or in RVs. The only trouble is when you live in an RV, which we have for 12 years. You kind of know what you need. And, like a toilet and a shower and a water source, a tank, and, you that stuff's got to be working. You got to have everything working, or it can be really miserable out on the road. If you have an air conditioner but you don't have a generator, well, if you like to boondock, then you don't have air conditioning, and you could get somewhere where it's really, really hot, and it could be physically serious for you to not have that type of thing, and or to not. I mean, we drink the water out of our water tank, and that's right now our water filter underneath the sink is plugged, and I just replaced it probably about a month ago. I don't know. We must have got some bad water somewhere, but the good thing is that filter took care of it. But now I've been trying to get a new filter for a couple of weeks, and I finally Darla goes, "Would you want the number for the place?" We're through Amazon. And anyway, we ordered one, and the post office tried to deliver it at 4:41 a.m. here, and said that this address did not exist, so they sent it back. And so then I ordered.
We don't know if they sent it back, because what they said was they're going to attempt it again, but we haven't seen a.
No, they told me today
that
they got it back today.
They never notified us today. It still says on there that they'll attempt delivery.
Yeah, but she told me we got it, and she's sending it out FedEx to us. And then I had ordered two more from these people. We'll find out today they don't have the two more. So I ordered it directly through them. I paid for them, and they're back ordered, and they will be coming. So we'll have 3 new filters. But I need to get one underneath here, because it takes 10 minutes to fill the coffee pot. It's a stream.
Anyway, getting back to what Bill was saying about the RVs, you got to know what you want, and then for him to look at things being so far away from something to physically lay eyes on it is what's hard.
Yeah, and if you're going to buy something and build it out, I'm always afraid to, especially with the ladies, to say, yeah, well that looks like a good deal, off of a picture, and they go there and they just take that and want to buy it. I mean, if you're gonna show me something, then my attitude is you got to go look at it and see what it has. If it has a water supply, if it has heat, I mean, you can die in these things if you're not set up correctly.
He'll give you guys ideas and stuff about what to look for, like water leaks or oil leaks or things that you can physically see when you go and lay eyes on it.
Well, it was leaking oil. All of a sudden, it just quit. I mean, there's things. I mean, it's like the motorcycles. Like I say, There are people that would ride a motorcycle that I would never ride, and I don't. You can The difference between a car and a motorcycle is when a car breaks down, you can normally coast over to the side and and you're okay. When a motorcycle breaks down, it's catastrophic. And just like, I mean, you can ask Darla. All of a sudden, I used to lay everything out on a table, and at the end, if a wrench was missing or a screw was was missing or something, sometimes I'd have to take that motorcycle back apart in order to find that screw or that tool, because I knew that if someone got on that motorcycle and took off riding, that thing got in the wrong place, man, it can cause death. And you just I didn't I we actually had one of our customers one night. He had come and picked up. He had bought this custom bike that someone had built, and I went all over this bike. And the guy was part of a motorcycle club, a big 1%er
Wow.
club. And I love this guy. He was just a really neat guy, and had been in the club for many years. And he would come over and visit with me all the time. And he had bought this bike, and I had gone through this bike, and checked it all over. And he came and he picked it up. Well, the next morning I found out he had died. He had gone down on his bike and was killed. And come to find out, it wasn't the bike he picked up. It was the bike that he rode all the time. And there was other stuff involved with it. It wasn't a failure of the motorcycle. It was
External element.
yeah, it was an intentional thing that was done to him. So, but I mean, I was not only really devastated that he had passed away, but I was
Thinking it was
I
the
was
bike
kind
you
of
worked on.
terrified
Yeah.
that it had been my fault, because we had, in 22 years of motorcycle repair and custom building and everything else, we had 26 customers die. And pretty much every accident where someone died, it was due to alcohol, always going too fast and too drunk and stuff like that. And that's a bad thing about motorcycles, is people go ride places to get drunk and then they try to ride home. And we had a lady one time that was, she didn't drink, and she was riding with a group of guys and other people who were drinking, and she was on her own bike and she shouldn't have been on it. Anyway, she went down, didn't kill her, but it almost did. She came real close to dying. So
Maddie said, "I'm sure I missed the topic, but you can't quit this channel. We won't let you."
oh no, we're not quitting.
We were just talking about the analytics and how they play into a successful channel, I guess, basically is what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all, Maddie.
I guess anytime, if I had to explain it, you get to a point, and it's just like in a business. If you get to a point in a business and you're just not,
Plateaus.
you're not. What is all that?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, it sounds like something's blowing up out there. Anyway, if you're not, expanding your knowledge and getting, getting a little bigger, a little better, all these type of things, um, then it just kind of becomes like, what are we doing wrong here? What's not happening? And I mean, I can tell you a lot of things I think we're doing wrong, but I mean, we try different things and it doesn't seem to make it right. So I know it was just like when we did have our motorcycle. I'm talking about motorcycles, but anyway, when we did have our motorcycle shops, I used to have guys tell me all the time, "Well, you need to get some help in here. You need to get." Oh, well, I got another guy coming. You do? Yeah, he's going to be working on your bike. Oh no, I don't want him. I want you to work on my bike, but you should get him for everyone else, so you can work on my bike. So I only had a couple of guys that I ever had work for me that were really good, that people would kind of trust. And I actually had a guy. This is the weirdest story, but I swear to God, it's true. And we hired this guy, came in. He was telling me, yeah, I've been working on motorcycles, and I went to the MMI and all this stuff, and And I gave him my little test, and he passed the little test. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy's good. I said, all right, well, when can you come in? He said, I could come in Monday. And he said, well, let me tell you, I have a little bit of a depression type thing, and I'm on my medication, and everything's good. I, but I just want you to be aware of that. And I said, okay, well, that's cool.
He was a great mechanic.
And
Really
he came in, and the first day, man, I mean, I gave him like 3 bikes to work on, and I mean, and I road tested them when they were done. I always road tested everything. When I'm done, that's what I do. And I take it out, and I ride it, and I go, wow, okay, man, this thing, this thing's right on. Bring it back, check it all over. Everything looks tight. Everything looks good. I showed him my method of how you end up with the right amount of parts back on the bike and everything. Anyway, so then the second day he was like a little late coming in, but he came in and he was working, and he another good day. The third day, he didn't show up.
And didn't call.
He didn't call. And then the next day, his parents called.
Hi, Linda and Carlos.
Oh, hey. His parents called, and they said, I can't remember his name, but they said him and his wife had like some kind of little disagreement. Apparently, he rolled over and and smacked him or something. And he got all huffy about it, and he said he was going to go outside and hang himself. And she said, okay. And he went outside and hung himself. And they flew him down to Loma Linda Hospital, which is a big deal.
Trauma hospital.
And so they came to get his tools, and we loaded their tools up. When they got ready before they got ready to go, I said, would you mind if we just prayed for your son? And they said, no, that would be great. And we prayed, because they were going to have to go down to the hospital and disconnect him. They said his brain was dead. He was done. And when they got home to unload the tools, the phone was ringing. They answered the phone, and they said, hey, he's fine. Come get him.
His eyes were completely bloodshot, and he had ligature marks.
Yeah. But he came in, yeah. I mean, he looked like he had died. I mean, he looked bad. And he goes, well, can I get my job back? And I go, bro, I said, you told me you were on your medication and everything else. And I said, here's the deal. I go, if you kill yourself, you might kill my wife. And when I have to go run and get some bolts or something, and she's here and you're here, I'm not sure I can trust you on that.
And he understood.
And he said, okay. And so, I mean, he lasted less than a week. And
but it was a great 2 days.
Yeah, and his parents they called us and said that they go, we just got a call from the hospital, and they don't know what happened, but it happened apparently at the same time that we were praying with them. And I don't try to talk a lot about religion on here. I just try to live my life that way. But I had a lot of effect back in those days, because I had come from a very not godly lifestyle at all. And I mean, I attempted to do it a couple of times, but I was never really good at it until I had a real conversion, and that's when things started happening for me. And it's just like right now. I mean, with this, man, we had to have a lot of faith to leave Arkansas to come here and do this job. And I just feel like this is where we were led, and I have a feeling this is what we needed to do. And so that's what we're doing. That's I don't know if that's a good lesson for anybody out there. And sometimes, like I say, that kind of makes people not want to give you likes and stuff like that.
And sometimes it makes them want to.
Yeah, sometimes
Maddie
it makes
also
them want to.
said she did go look at that RV. She said, thank you for being so thoughtful. I think I'm going to look for a cargo van. That way she can park it on any of her friends' property in town.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't know if you heard, but I did say hello, Linda and Carlos. Thanks for tuning in. And let's see. Oh, Seymour says, Johnny Hunter says, good story. Seymour said, does the algorithm pick up on your keywords like motorcycle and bring attention to people that are into motorcycles on YouTube to your channel? Well, yes, in just one word, yes.
Yeah.
I go back in and I peek and tweak all the editing and stuff like that. I'll put a frame around it and put our, our recognizable page that when a video pops up, we have the blue border and the red background and the letters. And then I'll put in keywords and stuff like that, and I'll try to stick in a couple of videos that people can also catch, and videos and stuff like that. So all the little things.
Yep. As far as
thanks for that, Seymour.
I definitely have a lot more motorcycle tales than I do RV tales. That's for sure. Because
it did a lot longer.
I grew up on motorcycles as a kid, and I had a stepdad that he looked like Marlon Brando and wore the hat like he did in the Wild Ones and the whole thing, man. I mean, this guy, he was a hardcore dude. He was a truck driver, and I mean, he was a wild and crazy guy. And him and I'll tell you what, if it hadn't been for him, because my dad left when I was really young, if it hadn't been for him, I probably would not be the person I am today. And
Jim says loves the stories.
He was a very interesting guy. Very interesting guy. We had something in common. We both had problems with my mom. So
that was a big club. May she rest in peace.
She was, yeah. You're never supposed to talk bad about your parents, but man, I'll tell you what, I got a couple of doozies in my life. And
Johnny Hunter says how to do stuff. Maybe we do have a few videos on that.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of repair videos.
Right.
And the big scare on this motorhome for me is electrical problems, and I got one right now, and I know what it is. I just don't know where it is. So I've tested everything individually, and everything works individually. But when I put a fuse in and I plug everything in and I turn on the AC button, it blows the fuse for everything. So it's the trigger wire that goes to the rear relays that control the fans and the air compressor. And I think the wire, because we were driving here and we had the air on, it was on low, and we didn't ever shut it off when we were driving. And I think the two wires are touching somewhere. The wire and it's grounding out, but it's got voltage on it, but it's real low. So it's telling me that it's shorting out, it's grounding out. So
Mark Bastion says, "Where's the love button on this thing?" Thanks, Mark.
Well, there is one when we do videos. But that's us that does that.
Yeah. We give hearts. Seymour said other channels would get demonetized if they said coronavirus. That's true. That's why we call it the Roni Pony here.
Yeah. Well, now the monkeypox, that's the new thing. So, I've been trying to stay away from politics. I watch.
Well, how about monkeypox? We could talk about monkeypox.
Yeah.
Some people don't know what that is yet. It's new enough.
Yeah. Well, let's just say my opinion. My opinion on everything is don't listen to it. Don't do what they say. Don't listen to it. You know what? Talk amongst yourselves, and I'll tell you what. Every day I hear, I got vaccinated. I'm not taking no more of them shots. Yeah. So, I mean, they've turned people off. I mean, with all this stuff, and they're trying to roll that back around.
Johnny Hunter says rewire.
Yeah, there's something back there that's.
You'll find
it's in an area about 3 feet wide is where it's in.
He'll find it, and if I'm not like locked down in the store, and he does it while we're here, we'll make a video about
it. The biggest problem for me is laying down underneath there and working. I get A long, long time ago, I had vertigo, and I'm pretty much fine unless I'm laying down and I'm trying to do this, and I could do even just doing that sometimes. It's like and
Keep high.
yeah, and I've come out from underneath this motorhome hurling. So
Or the truck.
or the truck, and I mean doing that. That's why working on motorcycles for me anymore is not too bad because I'll buy another lift and put it up on the lift and it goes up and down and up and down. The only trouble is when they fall off the lift. Those are some traumatic stories I could tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I could do motorcycles a lot easier. My dad passed away and I I inherited a CJ5 and I'd really like to restore that. And I mean it's a nice one too. It's got the 304 AMC V8 motor factory in it. CJ5s are a little scary to drive, but back there in Arkansas, man, it'd be a blast to have that thing to go. Yeah, I mean I've been looking at those Rangers, and for what they want for a Ranger, I could turn that Jeep into a beauty. I've been looking at tops and everything else for them, so
yes,
we're gonna restore the
vertigo
Jeep.
is scary. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't drive for what a month.
When he first got it, he was in bed for a month. A month. It was bad.
I've had some medical issues in my life that were just terrible, and but I always got over them real quick, you know. Um, but
The rebound's not so fast now.
well, at least I'm walking.
Yeah.
I can walk. I don't think I could run, and I have a
she doesn't have cable, doesn't watch the news at all. She lives in Mayberry.
yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes that's good, Maddie, but to know a little bit of what's going on is not bad. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of preparedness. And I watched a video yesterday. It was kind of interesting because everybody I know has heard about all these big shortages. Well, this guy was a truck driver and he delivered to Costco and Sam's Club and all that kind of stuff. And he said he went into, I believe it was a Sam's Club, and every time he goes in there, it's just the whole back area is just empty. Everything that they have is out front and running out. He said he went in there and the thing was full, the to the ceiling. He said everything was full, and they were looking for places to put stuff. And he was talking with the manager of the warehouse and said, "What's going on?" He said, "Well, these ships are coming in now. They're unloading these ships.
Containers.
They've been keeping them offshore, and now they're bringing them in and they're unloading all this stuff because what they don't want to have is they don't want to have them ships sitting out there because they keep telling everyone this winter it's going to be really hard to get stuff." But he said the thing is a lot of the stuff is like real close to date, and you know, you got to be careful what you buy because some of the stuff might be out of date and some of it might be just not good or whatever. And but there's stock, so this may be a good time if you are a Costco member or a Sam's Club. The problem for us, I mean, is RVers. We go buy one thing of mayonnaise at Costco, and that's fills the whole refrigerator. So
Hi, Brad and Diana.
yeah. Oh, hi, Brad. So what our situation is, in fact, we have one of those cool little deals where you put like 10 cans, and you slide it out, and then when you took a can out, you slid it back in. Well, I took all that out and I framed it all in and made shelves in there, and now we can put 70 canned goods in there. Plus, we have a point on the top where it's high, and you can put like
Maple
syrup and
peanut butter
yeah, and on the bottom you have it where you can put your oils and stuff. So sometimes these motorhomes, they're campers. They're not houses. They're campers. So you kind of got to turn them into houses. You know, you got to make them
Make them functional.
Got to make them functional. You got to make them work for you.
Yeah, and said she had vertigo for about 30 years on and off. She can work with it. Lots of rest, tons of water, meclizine when it's out of control goes away, and then I forget about it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm always nervous.
That's the one thing that will trigger it is laying under a vehicle and looking up and working on.
Well, last time we played with these friggin' fans,
yeah,
it was the main power wire,
and it was.
Then you
North
had to
Carolina.
finish it.
Yeah.
I couldn't finish it. No, it wasn't in North Carolina. I think it was. It was in Quartzsite. Definitely
Slinger, Wisconsin, USA. My uncle used to run a small engine repair shop back in the day, mostly lawnmowers. I love to go over to his garage and watch him and my dad talk. Memories.
Yeah. Well.
And that's another thing we were talking about. Bill was watching a video the other day, and he's like, you know, this is what's gonna. I think it was just today, maybe. This is what's gonna be in high demand. I mean, our world is changing. Our country's changing. And people are not manufacturing things here in this country, and we're not getting stuff from other countries because we either have embargoes on them or whatever the reasons are. And we have to fix what we've got. We have to fix it.
That's the way it was.
To know how to do that.
That's the way it was back during World War II. We were in Arizona, Kingman, Arizona, years ago. It was a bunch of us. We had gone to the Laughlin River Run, and we ran over to Kingman, Arizona to get drunk. And we were at the Hotel Beale, and this older lady, had bought this hotel, and I mean, it was like Clark Gable had stayed there, and all these old famous people had stayed there. And we were talking to her about the place, and she said, "Well, hang on a minute, and I'll show you something." And she goes over, and she grabs a hold of the safe, and she pulls on it, and the safe rolls out of the way, and she goes, "I'll be right back," and she goes way down, and all of a sudden, lights all come on, and she goes, "Come on, you guys, I'll show you." And it was all underground, and we all went underneath there, and there was one place, and it was like a fix-it shop. Mm-hmm. And this guy, all he did was fix toasters. And, yeah, he fixed all this stuff because you couldn't, if a toaster went out, you couldn't go buy a new one. You had to fix it. And that's what he did. He just was a fix-it guy. And in his shop, when World War II was over or whatever, this guy just came out of there and everything, all his tools there. He just left everything.
He's under there.
Yeah,
everything was like like it was the last time the person walked out and shut the door, and they were going to come to work tomorrow. Right?
And there was bars and restaurants, and they used to the Kingman used to be a railroad town. They had all these tracks where the Hotel Beale is, and they would run the Chinamen around underneath the town so that they couldn't catch them to deport him or whatever they did. So, it was really it was an interesting thing to go see. I mean, gosh, the motorcycle world, it opened so many doors for us.
How about stacking totes floor to ceiling and store stuff in them? Can write on masking tape what is in each tote, Seymour says. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, because of being able to store stuff.
Oh, yeah. So you still have to have...
We have under the bed, we can store some stuff, but I have all my guitars and stuff under there. Yeah.
Tends to be a problem, an issue.
I have nice stuff that I don't want to get rid of, and I have to I can't keep my guitars in the storage. So
Mark says, I have 11 stents in my heart. I had my first heart attack after fighting an apartment building fire. It was 39. Makes it hard for me to do repairs on my fifth wheel toy hauler.
Yeah. Well, see, and you know what? That's what we originally were going to do was we were going to put up a building, and I was going to work on RVs, but I still would do some of that. I mean,
depending on what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to work on any. I do hot rods and everything else. I've done some pretty nice cars and stuff too, but the thing is that you know, one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to get so far into something where it's going to be a 10-year project to get it done because I'm not sure I'm going to last 10 years.
They
So
could have Mike has 2 stents too. I did not know that.
yeah,
I remember he was in the hospital though.
well,
Well, I'm glad you guys are still kicking, Mark
yeah,
and Mike.
yeah. You got to quit fighting
Slinger.
with people, Mike. You got to quit going to them rallies and punching people.
Slinger, Wisconsin, USA. 3D printing can do metal parts now. I did not know that either.
You must be a welder or something.
I don't know.
Or well,
I was just looking at 3D printers.
is it producing it or is it machine? I mean, because there's
copying.
probably like a CNC maybe, huh?
I don't know.
Because I mean,
Tell us.
I had a buddy who
Slinger.
had a bunch of, he had CNC lathes and CNC mills.
I keep thinking that 3D printing is a way to make some income somehow. Because, I mean, parts are obsolete more and more, right? And if you had just one, you could make parts off of it to copy it. And 3D printers are so affordable now for just, the average person.
For making plastic stuff, probably
well,
more
if
so.
they can do metal,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Bye, Mike.
Like I
Take
say,
care. Thanks for popping on.
if it's a 3D, of course, printer to me means you're producing product. You're putting product in a deal, and it's adding it to these things, manufacturing. But
I read where they're 3D printing helicopter parts, Slinger says.
yeah,
I'll have to check into that. It just fascinates me. I enjoy looking into that. At the end of fireworks, how close will you be to building the shed?
the shed or the building.
So we were going to do the shed because we have a shed on the property that has like 2 walls and part of another one. Anyway, I think we're going to hold off on that.
The problem with it, we're going to turn it into a laundry room and stuff like that. But one thing about the metal building is
the metal building is going to be 52 by 60. So I think he's talking about
no, it's going to be 56 by 60 now.
By 60.
We're going to have 16 wide for our house. And see, I've had to change my whole thought process on it, but the way it's going to be, I think it's a pole barn.
The building, that's what
it's going to be a lot better. But
he's talking about the building. How long before you build
that? It just depends on how much money we have and what circumstances are. I mean, man, in this day and age, it's hard to, because once I start putting money into it, this guy will work with me and
incrementally.
I could do it incrementally. And what we could possibly do is get the poles in and get the roof on it and get it kind of laid out. And this thing, you build it all, and then you pour the slab on the inside. That's the last thing big that you do, and then you put the doors in. Put the doors up. But well, you could even put the doors up before that too. But it just depends on how much money. If I made, we made 50 grand here, I'd say, hey, let's just do it, buddy.
Go to plan, we're going to go back and do that as we get back.
But if it depends on how much money we make here, and if we make enough to do halfway, then maybe what we'll do is have him start working on making it halfway and go down to Texas and gate guard for 6 months and come back with another chunk of money and get it finished. I mean, it's, like I always say, the best day of gate guarding is the day you leave. But the thing about it is the money. It's not the money, it's the money. And I mean, don't take this wrong, dear. I would borrow some money to build the building so that we have the building. But Darla does not want, she don't want to have to write a check every month. So what we'll do, what we're trying to do is we're trying to do this from start to finish, all cash.
Thing of it is if we go into debt and something happens to one of us or the other of us,
And you just sell it.
how are we going to make that payment?
You just sell it.
Or where are we going to go?
You go with the kids.
Let's see.
Because that's, if
Metal printing is done with metal filament and metal pellets. Print solid metal. Okay.
yeah, so a lot of heat in that, I imagine, to do metal. A lot
Thanks,
more than
Maddie.
plastic.
What do you think are dependable RV companies?
Right now,
Thor
none.
bought everything, so.
Yeah, Thor. I guess Thor bought Tiffin.
Right.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think anybody that buys brand new anything is crazy. I mean, maybe the only thing that would be Grand Design, which used to be the Montana guys, built the Montana trailers.
Yeah.
But they have their difficulties. I mean, everything seems to be. But Thor has bought so much of the industry, and then Allied has got Holiday Rambler and Monaco and Safari and all those, and it's all, I don't know. I hate to poo-poo too much, but to me, anything newer than '08 in the RV world is almost undoable for it's undoable for me because I'm not gonna take my RV somewhere and pay someone $200 an hour to not fix it. And that's what people are doing. People are buying these new RVs.
That goes right back to what I was saying about we got to fix what we've got.
Well,
because if we do make it, the quality's not there anymore, and it's sure out of anybody's price range. And then you got debt again. You don't want to go into an RV with that lifestyle anyway. And I don't know. I just don't like debt. Debt is horrible.
Full-time RVers on Facebook are always talking. We just bought a brand new 2022. Put whatever you want in there, and we've had it for 6 months, and we haven't been able to take it out once yet. Every time we bring it home, it's got the slide doesn't go out, or the slide won't come. You can only do 55 with your slides out. So anyway, just kidding. Anyway, people are always complaining about the quality of the new RVs. Well, it's because they've lowered the regulations on what they have to be. They used to have to meet like mobile home standards. They don't even have to meet that anymore. So there's just a lot of junk. It's just a lot of junk, and they use a lot of these Chinese parts that we get are just not good quality. This country needs to start making things again. When we were building motorcycles, I got to the point where I had guys that were fab guys. I had them fabbing dash parts and stuff because I was just tired of putting these aftermarket Chinese parts on these Harleys. And these guys get out there and run these bikes real hard, and the things are just snapping and flying off. And they come to me and go, "Hey, this came off." Well, I didn't make it. I put it on there, but I'd have to, I'd guarantee it. I was a dummy. I guarantee my work.
When did diesels start to require the anti-evolution liquid?
The DEF was around 2013. 2013, 2014. I think that Force Max engine, which was international.
Every time you say that, I think you're saying Force Max.
Force Max engine. Force Max engine. Because they had made some kind of a deal with the EPA in 2013. They didn't have to have the DEF. But those engines, they had a lot of problems with them. They overheated. I remember we were working at an RV dealer at that time, and the reps came in, they had just bought they bought all the Monaco stuff, and they were building these motorhomes, and they were putting that Force Max motor in there. And I mean, we take them out on a road test, and they were breaking down, brand new, and it was like, and they were giving me crap about this, and I go, dude, I could drive from here cross country, and it's not going to overheat or give me any. It runs fine. These things, I can't even go up to the next off ramp, turn around, and come back. And they didn't have it very long. International Harvester got rid of the motorhome thing, and that's one of the things anymore. It's like the Caterpillar motors in the older motorhomes. Caterpillar makes a great motor. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They run and run and run and run and run. The problem is that they don't make a Caterpillar road engine anymore. They don't, and so a lot of the truck places are not working on Caterpillar engines like they used to. There used to be a lot more Caterpillar um, dealerships, and the thing is anytime you go into one of these truck places, they don't want to work on motorhomes to start with. But if you have a Cummins, you might have a chance. And I mean, I've been studying for a while now how to overhaul my Cummins motor. And the reason is because if it comes down to a point where I know we're going to be rolling for a few more years, and I know that the motor's having problems, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to be the one to do it. I can't see taking it to somebody that I can do this stuff. I may have to spend a little money and buy the tools, for pulling the cylinders out and everything else, but at least I'll be able to do it. And I'm learning there's certain things you do. You put it together and you put coolant in it, and you leave the pan off of it overnight and see if coolant's dripping on the floor when you come out in the morning. So, I mean, there's all kinds of little tricks, and it's like learning the tricks on the Harleys, same type thing. So that's kind of the direction that I travel with most things. I try to get knowledge, and with the internet, with the YouTube thing, it's quite helpful. I mean, it's been a lot helpful for me with this RV, and what I don't know, I've had to just learn by doing. So,
Maddie says there's a lady started with a brand new Tiffin. It was a nightmare to get repairs. She's gotten everything, a fifth wheel, etc. Now she doesn't pick up with a nice shell on it. Vince says, I have a 5.9 Cummins mechanical engine, 1995. Seymour, a while back, metal furniture for McDonald's remodel came from China. It was determined the furniture was radioactive. Imagine that.
Well, and you mentioned a 5.9. Great motor. You can turn them things up pretty much where they'll really rock and roll. And there's nationwide. There's wreck trucks with Cummins, not 5.9s, all over the country. So the A3s are a little harder to come by the parts, but with the A3s, most of them are like, what are they, combines and tractors, different kinds of tractors and stuff. A lot of trucks used them for years, and motorhomes used them for a lot of years. And like Kolas, they got A3 Cummins on deals. You can go right in there and say, yeah, give me that one. So, and that's, I think eventually with the way things are going with the quality of this stuff, people are going to find themselves.
Like Mark says, there's a reason manufacturers only give you a 1 or 2 year warranty.
Yeah, and there's no lemon law on RVs.
No.
That's the worst thing. So
no, what do they call that?
You can still sue them, but the thing is if you have like 3 major problems within like the first year, you can do the lemon law and with like an automobile, and you can force them to take that car back and either give you your money back or give you another car. But it's not that way with the RVs. You're stuck with it. And some of these dealers, the worst part about it is being a full timer, you're not going to spend all your time at the dealership a block away from the dealership where you bought it, you're going to go all over the country. And if you have a breakdown, say like in Billings, Montana, and they don't decide they don't want to work on anybody but RVs that they sell, then they, if you ever watch that video that I did a video for them, and the owner and I got in a golf cart. We were driving around. And I said, "Yeah, and now if you have a problem, and it doesn't matter where you bought your RV, you can bring it here to the service department, and they will take care of it." And he was like,
"Isn't that right?"
Yeah, yeah, isn't that right? Yeah, that's right. He was not happy, but believe me, you know what's funny is, and I always, when we were doing RV stuff, I told everybody, I mean, the owner, I go, I live in the full RV world. So the people that I'm going to take care of are going to be the people in the full RV world. Now, if you make a little money off what you do for them, that's fine, but you're not going to cheat them when I'm around, because I'm going to. Oh man, at one time we had a couple come in with a trailer and they had lost a wheel. The hub had come off.
They were on vacation.
And it was like the shop was closed, parts was still open. I went and I go, we have all the parts. And I pulled all the parts for them. I said, just stay in your camper here overnight, and in the morning we'll get the service department. Shouldn't take them too long to put it back together. Nope, can't work on it. They didn't buy it there. And I was just like, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? When that was the thing with the motorcycle shop. When a guy was on the road, when he was riding on the road, and he was away from home, and he had a breakdown, and one of my customers was there to have some maintenance or something. They didn't need the bike right then. As soon as the bike cooled down, it went on the rack and it got fixed. So because this guy's on vacation, he's got a limited amount of time, we took care of the people that were riding. That's what motorcycles are about. Having fun and riding them. Not, having people tell you they won't fix them. But I did have to tell some.
Mark said I had a D-Lam on one of my slide outs that was 6 months old. Keystone did not want to cover it. Keystone was really bad, in my experience, covering warranty stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And I have to tell you, delamination is not near as bad a thing as it. If it kind of tells you have a problem, but it's not the end of the world. You could, if it's a brand new one, that'd be a different story. But
I had a dealer telling me it'd be 3 months to check out my AC because I didn't buy it there.
Yeah. You know what? I've replaced both my ACs myself.
Yeah, but if it's a warranty thing.
Well, warranty. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying. Why spend all the money to buy a brand new rig that's going to have problems, that the parts aren't as good as quality as what you would find on an older rig? You'd be better off buying something a little older, taking care of the roof issues, putting 2 new air conditioners on it, and doing some cosmetic work than you would going down and spending the $70,000 or $80,000 for a new fifth wheel.
It's just like a new car, new truck. As soon as you buy it, as soon as it hits the driveway, you lose big time, and you'll never get that money back for sure. I mean, it's the cost of having something no one else has pooped in, basically.
You just gotta. I mean, if there was something that was out there that was really, really, really good quality, that I could just say, hey, go, this is what you want to go get. Now the Adventurer trailers, I think they're made by Arctic Fox. They seem to be a pretty decent quality trailer, but they still have their problems too. I mean, and Airstream's the same way. Airstream, they're a decent quality trailer, but they're for a pull behind. It's just I the best trailer, I think, we had 2 trailers. We had a Prowler and we had a mallard.
Our Prowler was in 1978.
Yeah, and the worst thing about that Prowler is I was pulling it with a 72 Ford Surfer van with a 302, and that trailer weighed a freaking ton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was heavy, and I had a really nice motor in that van, and
I think it was originally a hunting.
yeah,
trailer.
someone had put like mobile home axles and raised it and stuff.
It was real high.
But it was we did some stuff to it and made it upholstery and everything else and made it really, really nice. I wish we could have kept that trailer longer, but and then we got that mallard and that thing was very cheaply made.
Yeah.
But we had fun with it. So and then we had the next thing was we did the motorcycle camping, and then we got the Lance camper. And structurally they have to build those Lance campers really, really good. And the reason is because you set them in the back of your pickup truck, and there's things that just keep it from flying out. I mean, it moves all around. You get on the brakes, you can see it moving, and it shuffles, you know. And but they're so tight, you know. They're just, especially on a short bed truck. But we did it. We had a lot of fun with it. We had a lot of fun with the camper.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of everything up to this, that was the funnest thing. Sometimes this is really fun, and sometimes this is not real fun. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm laying underneath it, it's not so fun.
When they're broken, they're never fun.
This thing is fun to drive, though.
Oh, Seymour, what are your thoughts of beavers?
Well, let me.
Oh, and yes, Mark, if you can't work on it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't, though, but if you know somebody who can, so much the better.
Let me throw up a disclaimer. She told me I will not ride anything named a beaver. But beavers are really nice motorhomes. They make a really good motorhome. You know, they tend to get a lot of money for them, even used. So you just gotta, you know, Holiday Rambler, same way. You know, a lot of the Monaco stuff. You know, the 2008 for me is probably the end of the road as far as buying motorhomes. Yeah, anything 2009 and newer.
Well,
I probably would not do it.
But it also has to have been kept up.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna buy something that old that's been trashed, it's no good either.
But they've changed slide. You know, I've got the old first generation slide mechanism underneath this, and I had problems with it. And it is, there's like a deal that catches a shaft and then expands in a drum, and my buddy was tightening it and it went snap, and then it didn't tighten on the shaft and it didn't expand in the drum.
So you fixed it.
Well, what I did is I drew a thing and I took it over to a buddy of mine that had a machine shop. We were still where we used to live. I said, "Can you make this for me?" And he says, "Sure." And he whipped it out in about 2 hours, and I went back, and that's what's been in there ever since. It's been in there 12 years.
And we pray every time before we hit the button to bring it in or slide it
out.
out.
we help it come in, but the people that had the motorhome before did that too, and they were the ones that said, you know, we always help it in and out. And this is a heavy slide out. It's 30 inches deep and it's 13 feet long, and it's a heavy slide out. It's pretty girthy. And so when it comes in, and it's one you push the button and it says, "Make sure there's no objects in the way when you bring the thing in, or you're gonna screw it up." And then we pull it in, and then once we get it in, we got these big arms you got to lock, and you know, manually they're under the couch. Yeah, keep it like if you watch the movie RV when they go around the corner, you see the thing tilt out.
That was a good movie. Yeah. We need to watch that again.
Yeah.
With Robin Williams.
But you know, the way the new things are, you hear this like this weird sound, and then it's got like a little aluminum track on the side of the slide outs to pull them in, and when those things break, man, you take them apart and they're neoprene gears and.
This one couple we met, our very first work camping job in Kansas, Coffeyville, Kansas, Amazon. When we met them, they were in the same campground as we were, but they had a slide out in the bedroom, but they didn't use it because it was stuck. So for the entire time we were at Amazon, they had to crawl into their bed because the slide out was broken, and it was that neoprene.
Yeah, they charged them over $1,000 to replace that gear.
It was bad, but I think they were there for like 3 months.
All of our mechanism is all underneath the floor over here, and there's a plastic cover in the front, a plastic cover in the rear, and you can get to everything, and it's real easy as far as that goes. Now the electronics, the little brain,
cause most harm to RVs. That's a real bad one.
Yeah, well, you know, I put we have an aluminum roof, and I put that. We have 2 stress cracks, but I put that
rubber steel.
No, I put the Turnabond tape on it, and then we coated the roof, and we have pretty much eliminated any problems we ever had before.
We did have a leak over here on my side of the front, but
that was a turn signal
light, whatever.
Or marker light on the roof.
Thank you for your advice. I just want a dependable RV, Jake said.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to go chassis, motor, transmission. This is what a guy told me when I was looking for these things. And we had walked through one of these when it was brand new in 1995. This thing is 27, going on 28 years old. And I told Darla when we went to an RV show, I said, man, if we ever got a motorhome, this is the one I would like. I really like the way this thing is set up and everything, not knowing anything motor-wise or anything else. But I had a buddy of mine, he was a truck driver, owned a trucking company, and he said, you want to do motor, trans, and chassis. And I'd call him up and I'd say, well, what do you think of this? No, that's no good. And I mean, I was getting no good until I told him about this one. He said, that one's good. That would be a good motorhome for that. And then it was like, okay, so then we were slide outs, and I had different opinions on the slide outs, and I had different opinions on, anyway, we just happened to get really blessed with this RV. I mean, it's been something that I could work on. I've been able to, like I say, give me a house with a steering wheel. I'm a pretty happy guy. So, I mean, we've been able to, we've only ever had it towed one time, and the worst part about it was it was an easy fix, and I knew what it was. But the wind was blowing, the road was solid ice. We were driving about 20 miles an hour trying to get the Billings to do a drug test so we could go to Fernley, Nevada to Amazon. And there were trucks and cars, and they were sliding off the road. And so we were out Jamestown, North Dakota, on Highway 94, and we had towing. We had the Good Sam Towing, and we called them and sent this great big, huge tow truck, and this little itty bitty old man gets out in a jumpsuit. What seems to be a problem? And so he was going to have me leave the truck. I said, no, we're going to drive the truck. We'll follow you. And he got under there and disconnected the drive shaft and the airlines, and we got everything pressurized, and away we go. And I mean, this guy took off like he was on fire. Then he took us to the shop and dropped us off in the shop. And the thing was, is we spent the night in the shop, and in the morning I went in, and I didn't feel like working on it, but I probably should have. And anyway, this mechanic finally comes out, and he goes, okay, so it won't do nothing. And I said, well, I think it, he goes, wait a minute, let's get something straight right now. Am I going to work on this, or are you going to work on this? I said, well, I think you're going to work on it. And I said, can you put the drive shaft back in it first? Could you do that? Okay, so he did that. Then he started playing around. He was in the back and he couldn't figure it out. And then he was in the front and he couldn't figure it out. And he was in the back. And then finally he looked at me and said, what did you think it is? I said, well, there's a little box up here in the front. I said, there's a continuous use solenoid up there, and I think that solenoid went out. He went over there and jumped that thing, and it fired right up. And he looked at me, he smiled, he goes, okay. And from then on, we were cool. But they had to go get the part, and they said, well, if we pull him off your RV, then when he gets freed up again, then he can work on it again. I said, well, what if I just pay him and give him a list of things to do? And they said, well, you can do that. So I got him under the thing and had him grinding metal and fixing grounds and doing all kinds of stuff, anything I had ever found. Then he was under there for a couple hours, and they finally got the wrong part and brought it, put it on, it fired up, and about a week later they put a starter solenoid instead of a continuous use, so we had to replace that again. But
it lasted a couple weeks. It got us off the road.
Got us to where we needed to be. So anyway, it's hard to work on a mechanic's vehicle. I know that for a fact. And when I used to work on the motorcycles, I used to get everybody's a motorcycle mechanic, and that's why Harley had such a bad rep back in the days, because these guys they get to partying and working on their bikes, and they didn't come out so hot. But well, hey, here we go. We're back up to 2 hours. Wow. We got to go do laundry in the morning. Can I stay in bed and you go? I put it in the bag already. Look at Cage's over there going, dude, I'm going to be nice and fresh in the morning.
Yeah, that's just been sleeping the whole 2 hours.
We do have a pretty nice little laundromat over here, though. Yeah. They give doggy treats.
You can also get a tan the same place as you do your laundry.
Yeah. Yeah. I told them, I said, do you get a lot of truck drivers coming in here and get just one arm done? They look, what? Well, you guys, we're gonna tune out here. Gosh, it's been fun talking for 2 hours.
Thank you guys for taking time out of your lives.
Yeah, we always appreciate you guys, like I say, hanging out with us, and we'll try to do this again next week. How about that? That's the plan. I don't know what's going to happen when it gets
Valiant Thor, thank you for watching from Los Alamos National Laboratory Thermal Test Complex. Woo!
Wow, crazy.
Random channel surfing. Well, we're glad you.
Well, you know what? Subscribe, share, and like. How's that? Anyway, really enjoy having you guys here. And like I say, when we get real busy, we're going to probably have to stay open later. So we'll just see how that goes. What we might do is, it's probably will screw everybody up, is maybe try to do something in the morning or something.
Or if we don't have any customers, but we still have to be out there till it's later, we could do like a shorter live.
But you know, when we get about 2 weeks before 4th of July, we're going to be busy. So anyway, we'll try to figure it out on our end, and then we'll let you know what's going on and see if you can figure it out on yours. But until then, until we get in that situation, we're going to keep running the way we are.
Have fun fluffing and folding.
Yeah. We don't fluff, we just fold. All right, guys. Have a great one.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.